Welcome to the Phlarp Podcast. Phlarp stands for Park Hills Live Action Role Players. We are a medieval fantasy-themed LARP group. We engage in unscripted combat against each other using padded LARP weapons and a shared combat system. We also participate in ad-lib dialogue with each other in an attempt to portray a character, and many of us also wear costumes. We operate out of Park Hills, Missouri, every Sunday from 1 p.m. until 5 p.m. We strive to create an environment that facilitates our players' immersion as much as possible so that regardless of their previous experience with LARP, they could participate and have a fun and memorable LARP experience. We want to help people create friendships, relationships, and memories that will last a lifetime. It is our hope here at the Phlarp Podcast that through the utilization of this platform, we can expand on the ideas and suggestions taken from our players so that we can maximize player retention and expand our player base. The Phlarp Podcast is made possible by support from our players and listeners like you. If you would like to support us, please visit our Patreon, where you can do so for as little as $3 a month. Also, any engagement on our YouTube or Facebook pages is much appreciated, and thank you for listening. We're live. This is the podcast, the Phlarp Podcast.
The Phlarp Podcast.
The podcast.
Heck yeah.
Podcast of Phlarp.
Yep, that's us. I am your host, North, or Jason Smith, and then...
I'm your host, Brandon Frazier, or Davine Alwyn.
And I am your host, Chris, or Eric the Red, the
And-
God.
And we have a co-host today who is...
Sir Ednick or Adarius Gamblin.
And I guess we'll just jump right into a recap.
Yeah, let's do that.
So, actually, I have some questions to ask you.
Yeah,
Go for it.
Yep.
Yeah, so you
All
can
the
get my
questions were
signature.
inappropriate that I was thinking of.
You
How
can get my
about-
signature.
Okay. What is your... No, I'm not just joking. Okay. I'm not okay. Why do you play Phlarp? That was my serious question. And how long have you played? And then why do you play Phlarp now?
I think roughly 3-4 years. I think is a good total. I stopped for a good bit, but mostly I started playing just to have something to do. But like the whole idea of like being able to like role play, be able to have fun with a bunch of people, get to meet new people. The whole experience of it too is like really great.
I wonder if people are going to have a hard time telling us apart. Do we sound the same? They say they can't tell these two apart.
I think they're full of it.
Well, I mean, I could try to talk a little different for you.
It sounded more like me when you got up to the mic, I think.
Let's hear that accent.
I'm still trying to figure out an accent for Sir Ednick.
What the kind of accent do you have?
It's not going to be Italian.
Okay.
I mean, that's fair.
It's a much grande.
Nah, I'm still trying to figure that out, be honest with you.
Fair enough.
Okay. Oh, cool. That's a good answer. We always just like to ask everybody. I like to find out. I'm going to take all those and put a compilation together about why everybody flarps. So,
I don't think he can English today.
compilation.
I could
whatever.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
him.
It's all
I
good.
cannot
Nerd.
English.
Nurse.
People
North.
will know what he's
I can
trying
Italian.
to say.
No,
I have a
seriously.
question, too.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it one of these questions?
I mean, what's one of these questions? This is specifically for our guest.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, do you have any questions?
I do.
Yeah.
All right, so my question is, if you had to make one meal that you feel is like your go-to, I'm going to cook this, it's going to be bomb, whatever, what's the meal?
Oh,
For those that don't know, Adarius is like amateur chef.
amateur. Yeah, I'm not too good, but I'm not too bad. I know some things. Honestly, it's not really. It's kind of basic. It's most likely some grilled chicken, rosemary, thyme, butter. Always have some garlic. Not too much though, because like it's really overpowering. Definitely for the sides, asparagus, grilled asparagus with some garlic, pretty great. And then mashed potatoes. That's always. a
I mean,
side.
fair enough. When you make your how do you make your mashed potatoes? I mean, like, what are we talking as far as like, what are you putting in there?
Putting them skins in there?
Honestly, yeah, dude, I like the
Dude,
skin.
that is so
No,
gross.
okay, listen. Using the red potatoes, the small red potatoes, cut them up real nice, keep the skins on them, boil them for a good bit, mash them up, put some nice seasonings in there. Honestly, it's not bad.
Okay, first off, let's start with this.
You look like you were not open to this.
I'm not open to it. First off, those are not mashed potatoes. Those are smashed potatoes. That's way different. Okay, let's start with that.
Smash.
The second thing is my question is for you two. How do we feel about having our first guest just kicked off the podcast during the podcast? How do we feel about that?
I mean, I'm okay with peelings in my potatoes.
Oh,
so
here we go.
Look at that. See?
I'm
Come
not
on,
opposed
man.
to smashed
Can we at
potatoes.
least understand that people need to stop
You get
calling
nutrition.
those mashed potatoes? Those are smashed potatoes.
Okay,
they
well
are
then.
two different meals, really. So let's start with that.
I have a caveat. Instead of, throwing off our guest, can we throw Davin off?
Yeah,
I'm honestly down.
This guy. Come on, man. What are you doing? Making fun of me.
I'm okay with this. So we
You
want to take a
boil
vote on it?
them, mash them, put them in a stew. Potatoes, bro.
Tomato, potato.
I just feel a little offended. Just don't invite me over for Christmas dinner, okay?
Wait,
You're not getting,
did we?
you're not getting mashed potatoes.
Those aren't mashed potatoes.
All right.
We should probably move on.
Okay.
I have a question for you.
What's up?
What do you think is your greatest kill?
My greatest kill.
Your greatest kill?
Oh, man. Sword or throne?
Let's go with throne.
Ooh, I'm not really good with... I'm okay with thrones. Like, I'm getting better with them, I guess, but still mediocre.
No, you still suck, but go ahead.
Yeah, very much so. It's better to just go along with it. I'm not going to fight. I know I'm tough.
Okay, just
Probably just nonchalantly throwing it and getting somebody in the chest. I think the one on Rand, like right before I accidentally hit him in the dome, like is either right before or right after. He was kind of just like sitting there with his shield talking to other people, kind of just tossed it, barely missed his shield, got his chest.
Oh, went like right in between his shield and his chest.
Yeah.
nice.
I think I saw that one.
All right, good.
Okay.
What was your favorite kill, Davin, when you
That
smashed
I've
that
ever
poor
had?
innocent frog in front of me? Or
What a monster.
I'm feeling attacked, honestly. This
Okay.
is not a safe space.
okay, I mean, that frog was feeling attacked. And
That frog felt nothing.
it was too quick.
Yeah.
Okay,
Too soon.
poor guy didn't even have any hero's blood.
I mean, you could have taken him to the portal. You didn't. You chose
Oh
that.
yeah, I don't know if the magic's strong enough for what you did to that poor guy.
Jeez.
It's a different kind of life, maybe.
I don't remember this event, so
Okay, well,
Was this before or after the mating tree?
probably right around the same time. I was probably still pretty upset about the mating tree, if we're being honest.
yeah, because they're kind of aching to snakes. Or whatever.
Yeah. It's just like all kind of the same creature to me. I'm not a fan.
Well, that was the most craziest kill I've witnessed. That you no mercy on that guy. Anyway, okay, so let's get into a recap, I
Yeah,
guess.
let's do that.
Heck yeah.
All right. Well, today went pretty good. I thought it wasn't. There wasn't like a bunch of numbers, but I mean, it was all right. I mean, we had enough to
10
be
plus.
able to play. We played like 3 or 4 games, I guess. Or
Yeah.
did like a King of the Ring. Did we ever even set up for that King of the Ring? Weren't we talking about that? Or
I,
guess we
I
had-
think
think we
people just
talked
went and
about
did it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And then we did. And yeah, it was the guy that was talking about doing it last time, or in the chat at one point. There was a guy that was talking about setting up a King of the Ring and how you would do that. And I think he was the one that kind of did that.
Actually, I think that person is here today.
Well, it was a little bit of me and someone else.
And Ezio.
Yeah, it was Ezio that was
It
talking
was,
about it.
Okay.
Yeah, more of him than me though.
Okay. I get you guys confused.
And to be fair, I mean we've had that before. I mean we had it like permanently set up whenever we were at property. It's just when we're at the parks, like we almost have to go set up like a cone area for people to do that. But
Yeah, it's a
today
whole
we
kinda-
didn't, and it seemed like they were out there kind of sparring on their own anyway. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And we had one new person today.
Yep. Shout out Rose.
Rose.
Oh yeah, and they actually listened to our podcast, so
Yeah.
cool.
Oh,
if
even
you're
better.
listening now.
Their whole
We-
family does.
We enjoyed having her. We hope she's back next week.
Yeah.
Hope everybody comes back out.
Her, I guess, mom or whoever it was that was with her was saying, I was talking about the podcast, and it was cool that it was getting traffic, and she said at one point it was playing in 3 different TVs on our house or whatever. I don't
Oh
know
my
if they were actually listening to
That's
it. They might have
awesome.
just been watching the video, but still.
No, that's really cool.
Yeah,
cool.
just
Yeah.
the idea of it.
Oh, and
Yeah.
by the way, happy belated birthday, Rose. Her birthday was on Wednesday, so she's 17. So
Awesome.
Cool.
It's a good age.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
Let's see. What did we do? We had Last Man.
Yep. Last man standing. Well, we had Heston Iverson actually came in first place on that one.
Wizard.
And then, ironically enough, Rose and Trinity tied for second place. So
Yep. And we had.
Minion
Minion,
and
yeah.
Scramble.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yep. And Sir Ednick won Minion, but I'd actually like to talk about that a little bit.
Sure.
So we've talked about it on the podcast before about how it's not always the best player that wins Minion. It's the player that's able to control his team the best.
Or the best fighter, you mean? It's
Right.
not
That,
necessarily-
yeah, I mean, right. It's not always the best fighter that
Knuckle
wins that
crack.
game. So one thing I noticed today was Sir Ednick multiple times was calling out to certain team members basically about, hey, get back with me. I didn't tell you to go over there. And just the way he commanded his team, I think ultimately got him that win because
Yeah, you got to play like a team ultimately.
yeah, I mean, because what happens is if I'm, the leader of a group or whatever, and my group's all spread out all over the place, they're going to get picked apart, and I'm going to have no team, which is ultimately what happens. Or somebody's going to come up and stab me in the back because I got nobody looking at my back.
Yeah. Plus,
And-
sorry, I didn't mean.
No, go ahead.
Yeah. Plus, altogether, like being able to like control the whole team, it kind of gives you like that RP feel, like the role play. So like being the soldier, you get to be commanded by your, officer or superior, whoever's in charge. So it's kind of like
It forces an interaction between
Yeah.
between players.
Either way, I wanted that to be said because I think sometimes players may get out there and get overwhelmed or think that I have no chance of winning this game or whatever. But the reality of the situation is you need one kill and then command your team and you have an opportunity to win. Like,
Like the game is more
Yeah.
about managing your
I think it is. Yeah.
your minions.
Yeah, the better you have your squad controlled, the better you're going to be able to do. Because if people are kind of by themselves, how are they going to take on a whole entire swarm? You
Yeah.
know, or if you have like 2 shields and you're by yourself, 2 shields are going to be pretty tough to go against if you're by yourself for sure. So like to
A
be
lot-
able to have that kind of command.
And a lot of it too, I found that is in between them dying and getting back to you. Like sometimes they will, after they've gotten back to you, still run off and do their own thing. But a lot of times I find that like that's when you really need to reinforce it, is when you first kill them or they die or whatever. And that they're walking as a ghost, be like, dude, make sure you get back to
Yeah.
me. Don't be running off doing whatever. Come back to me. And then
Yeah.
kind of stay. What I used to do is stay away from the group while those numbers would come back to me, and then wait to engage anybody else until all my minions are here.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So like my strategy is sometimes I'll get a little frustrated whenever I play because they'll take a little longer than
Yeah.
normal to get back. But they're exhausted. Some people, don't have a lot of endurance. They can't run that long. So I'm not too worried about it. But the best thing to do is, yeah, like you said, regroup, make sure everybody can kind of get to you where it's not too far away. It's better just to kind of stay defensive until you have the ability to be offensive.
Yeah, and usually by the time you got a big group, usually
Yeah.
there's either a bunch of stragglers or whatever, or
Yeah.
one other group that you have to like deal with.
And that's probably like the best thing is like if you have a whole entire other group, it's like a team battle pretty much. That's like it's pretty cool, I think. There's a lot goes into it.
See, and like, what's really good about Minion or even team battles is being able to, like, yes, you're able to control your people, but it's not just controlling your people. It's being able to see the battle overall, the whole picture, the whole field,
Yeah.
and say, okay, I see exactly what they're about to do. If they're going to try and try and flank you, then it's like, okay, I see that coming.
Oh yeah.
And that's whenever we trained in the military, there was the one thing that we had to learn is being able to know, what you see in front of you, but also look at the bigger picture and say, okay, these are different avenues of approach. These are different areas that, they're going to try and attack me.
Yeah.
Shut that down. And that's, as Minion, that's really good.
Oh yeah. And I think the best thing about that is, like, sometimes whenever you do have that big group, that one person out of nowhere just comes out of nowhere and just kills your whole team. And it's like, I got defeated, but come on. You got to admit, that was pretty baller. That was pretty cool.
I agree.
Anyway, so my whole point to that was that it was managed really well.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thanks, guys.
You got extra XP for it.
Mm-hmm.
Heck yeah. I think that's, like, I don't win a lot of events either. So, like, it's pretty cool to... I just like being able to go out, like, the fight. Like, the more experience you get, I guess. It's...
If you guys could see North right now, he looks like the Lord Palpatine.
Do it.
He just needs a little more white-skinned.
Like the
I don't
red
look,
eyes.
I don't look like
the
a walnut
hoodie.
like Palpatine, but
I feel like you're just jealous because to me he just looks comfortable. You know.
I mean, that hood is. It
Yeah,
does
he's
look comfy,
chilling.
bro.
Speaking of the hood, you can purchase one of these hoods.
Oh, really?
You can.
Who must I speak with?
Well, that's the thing is she's kind of got a weird thing with her name right now. But basically, our tailor is Jessica. You know, she's out there every Sunday if you want to.
Is it Jessica or is it Jesse?
No, we're not going there. I'm not going there. You can do whatever you want, but it's Jessica. She's there every Sunday. She
mean-
makes all kinds of costumes, not just hoods. She does everything. So if you want something made, she's the one to talk to.
I've heard her go by Jess, but never Jessie. I
She
guess.
she specifically told us today that she does not like Jesse, which is
Okay.
why he's saying
Ah,
this.
I gotcha.
Yes.
Because he's the guy who likes to stir the pot.
I am. I mean,
I mean, it's not too bad to do it every now and again.
I mean, no.
especially on a podcast when she's not here.
Yeah, but she's going to hear this as soon
Plus-
as it gets posted.
That's if she listens to it.
She says she does.
Can I make a wager that you guys haven't previously privy to?
Sure.
Can I set
Yeah,
amount
let's
of
do that.
likes on this video that if we hit those likes, we'll start doing a video, an actual video of this?
Like of this?
Yeah, like set the GoPro up right here.
I mean, we could, like a
don't
little
care.
cam where it's like you could still see the video and then us.
Oh,
Or
where you
like-
can still see the fighting.
or
'cause
kinda
you
like half and half.
Like you like the fighting.
Yeah,
Is
like
that what you're saying?
or like have like the first half that or like the second half that, because like so it doesn't have like the replay or whatever. But I think like that would be a good idea though.
Yeah, I don't know if that's what people want. So I guess it would be dependent upon
Oh yeah.
them
Oh yeah.
liking it enough to.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But I was just thinking,
Food for thought.
if everybody used their own phones, we could get separate angles, even close-ups. But even if we
Mhm.
didn't do that, we could just use the GoPro and get at least a video of the podcast while we're taking it or whatever. Another thing
yeah.
too, I want to consider, or like based upon feedback, is doing it live. Like I don't know if anybody ever would listen to it when we were doing it live, or whether we'd be able to do that. But I think that'd be kind of a cool idea.
Oh,
to
yeah.
try to do in the future.
That'd be a good idea.
If we do that too, we can take
He said doo-doo.
doo-doo. Go ahead. I earned it. Yeah. We can take super chats then too and answer questions in real time.
Oh
from
yeah,
people,
that'd be
so-
that'd be really cool.
I
Yeah.
think that would be an amazing thing.
Definitely a great feature.
I just
But-
don't know how well that would how would we be able to do that?
We could figure it out if that's what people wanted.
Like, are you wanting to do a live?
You could literally do it through Facebook Live if
Yeah.
you wanted to.
Yeah.
There's a will, there's a way.
I mean, what I'm asking is like, would you want to do it live after game day, like we do now?
Yeah, still like we do
or-
now. If
Okay.
people would want to watch it, like if they'd want to go home and just tune in after an hour and
Gotcha.
to us if we started at
Gotcha.
6 and went from 7
All right.
live, would that be
So-
something that people would be interested in? Depends on people's feedback. So if enough people give us feedback that's what they want, then we'll start heading in that direction. But I also kind of sprung this on these guys, so I don't know if they're okay with it. Which
I'm okay with it.
I guess I was the one who was like had reservations about my video or whatever because I get self-conscious. I can't even listen to these podcasts. I can't.
Can't
I like
even-
your voice.
He can't even listen to his own podcast. Like,
cringe.
really?
Yeah, no. I'm
Bro.
like I'm so
Well, I listen to
cringy and
podcasts
boring.
like 3 times a week. Wow.
No, you're not boring.
Cool.
I mean, he is.
Thanks.
I enjoy
Dude,
watching them.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I'm
Did you
being genuine.
Okay, time out though. Did you hear his funny story from last week?
Did you laugh? Yeah. Did you?
That was one of the worst stories I've ever heard.
Okay, well, some people have their faults.
It
Let's
was
see.
one of the stories that was like an inside joke thing. It wasn't as funny.
So
I
far,
get it.
his faults are his stories
I have
his
another. I
jambalaya.
have another funny story.
Facts.
What else?
He's trying.
So far, like the
He
faults
makes
are
it
adding up,
out
bro.
of the box.
Zatarans.
Throws sausage
That
in it.
is not.
He's
No.
trying. He's doing his best.
His best ain't good enough.
He's providing.
You want me to do better than buy pre-made?
Do we
I don't
need
want
to
you to
get
do
a
jambalaya
towel?
ever again.
Am
Yeah.
his nose running?
No, because it's getting brown as hell.
Oh, brown nosing.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
it's
he's trying to
like-
defend me about my cool jambalaya.
I'm trying to.
okay?
I'm
It's
trying to
good.
freaking keep him upbeat. You guys are making him
He's
sad.
good. Yeah. you
I
guys-
feel like he hasn't
trying to keep
had
me
this
from getting
jambalaya,
outnumbered.
or there's no way he would be positive.
No, it's definitely been a long time. I'm repressing that memory.
I've never had it, and I don't even want to.
Wow. Now you're just ruining people from even trying it.
Thank God. I'm saving them.
He's saving my life. Thanks, bro.
You're welcome.
Twins power.
He literally showed up, looked at me straight in the eyes, and said, "I made Zatarain."
I was proud. It's good.
I mean,
To me.
to each their own. You also like smashed potatoes. Can we trust you? I'm not sure.
There's a lot of people that like smashed
Yeah,
potatoes.
there's a lot of
Because
people
they're
like smashed
lazy. Because they don't
potatoes.
want to peel the potatoes. That's all it is.
All the nutrients are in the
I
skin.
don't care.
I literally cut them up.
No.
You're also mashing them too, so like
No, I'm using a KitchenAid. Come on now.
you probably get the stuff out of the packet. Don't lie.
I'm
Get
offended.
Instant taters.
Again.
Get the garlic kind. Say you made it homemade.
I could see you doing it too.
I could see myself doing that, but I wouldn't. And there's a clear taste difference between homemade and instant
Oh,
mashed
there
potatoes.
definitely is.
Calm down, guys.
I mean, but here's the thing, okay? That's just saying that if we actually seen you cook.
Yeah, I don't really cook.
Why don't we
Not
just
much.
make that the question?
Okay.
Down in the comments, let us know. Skins or no skins on the potatoes.
He said he wanted to question every week. I guess
Skin or
this
no
is-
Yeah.
skin.
Fine.
That's our
Skins or
question.
no skins.
Yeah, what the
Pick
heck?
your
We
team
need-
correct.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Lines will be drawn.
You can have
You
your,
know,
you can have your opinion. It's
unrelated to
wrong.
this, skins and no skins. I think. I don't know. I'm pretty sure skins are gonna win.
I don't think so. I don't
Yeah.
think so.
I mean, there's two votes
Specifically
right now.
for mashed. Really,
For
the question
skins.
should be mashed potatoes versus smashed potatoes. Should be the question.
Oh, terminology
Yeah.
now?
Yeah.
Oh.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, but I like adding cream cheese and sour cream.
Oh
In
yeah,
mine.
small little bacon bits,
No.
Yeah.
No.
You guys still on his team?
cheese. I like to add a lot
Like
of
real
stuff to my-
bacon?
Yeah, real bacon. What do you
Not
mean?
like the bacon bits like...
No.
I mean, they
Not
make
the fake
real
bake.
bacon pieces like in the bacon
Yeah.
bit section now.
You can also just make your bacon really crispy and just crumble it up.
I mean, I do
Okay.
like crispy bacon.
Now that would be good.
Yeah. But to be fair, a good mashed potato doesn't need all that stuff. So skins or no skins?
Okay.
That's all I got to say there.
Anyway, so Minion, yeah, it was a good game.
Our
Is that
last
what we
game
were
was
talking
Scramble.
about?
Yeah, that was the last
yeah,
thing
I
we
think
were
so.
talking about.
Last game was Scramble, and that basically concluded the day. If we're being
Yeah.
honest, it was a good Scramble. Those people seem to be having a good time.
Yeah, a bunch of goofing around.
Yeah.
I think every once in a while you got to have that. I really do. I think
Yeah,
just,
a lot of fun.
just having the goofing around, it's like, everybody comes out and
Just to hang out
This is
too.
serious.
Yeah, just-
I don't like it when people have fun. No, I'm just kidding.
I know.
Why are you having fun, man? Take it serious.
we were out there laughing
Breaking the
and
rules.
I do think there's times that both are needed, though. Like
Yes.
I do enjoy like us goofing around, having a good time, all that, because I think there's different personalities out at LARP, right? And I think some people want the seriousness most of the time. I think some people want to goof around sometimes. I think both are fine.
Oh yeah.
And then what happens is, see one person goofs around, they do something, right? And then one
Right.
of the serious people
Oh.
sees them goof around, and they say, "Oh, I
Yeah.
can do that."
Yeah.
Oh,
mean,
it's
they
it's
start
just
doing
starts escalating. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's fine. I understand. I agree that it does need a certain amount of.
Yeah, it definitely has a good
Goof
time.
It
around.
needs like a whimsy sometimes, just to kind of break the monotony of the seriousness, you know.
Really, it makes people roleplay more too whenever they're doing stuff like that. Kind of.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Okay.
Anything there we need to talk about?
There's some stuff here we can talk about. We already talked about that one. We got the question. Oh, I have a question about Juggernaut. What do you guys think about the idea? And I put this in the chat, but we can talk about it here. What do you think about the idea of when the Juggernaut kills you, you stay dead, but you still get up? At first I was saying you stay dead where you're at, but I don't like that because then people will line up weird at the res point, because if they all get up at once, they'll all cluster at the res point and be weird. But or be in conflict or whatever. But when the Juggernaut kills you, it you stay dead and nobody starts rezzing in until the Juggernaut dies again. This makes it so that you don't get overwhelmed immediately. Because, like, when you get the helmet, nobody will start rezzing in until you've got the helmet on. And also the pausing thing. Was it that you that suggested that?
Yeah, so I'm definitely guilty of it. So whenever the Juggernaut starts switching the helmet to the other person, walking and go grabbing your things and
Is
stuff.
that mine?
No, that's my watch.
Oh.
Sorry.
Continue on.
Sorry, yeah.
Please.
Juggernaut walks in.
So definitely guilty of it. But whenever the Juggernaut's switching his the helmet or the GoPro, like going and retrieving your things while they're doing that, I think it's a little unfair for sure.
And like clustering around the person, 'cause
Yeah.
you know that, hey, they're about to be Juggernaut, but then it makes it to where they just immediately die, basically, because everyone has positioned themselves around the
Yeah,
guy.
you definitely have to like dart out of there unless you're gonna get swarmed with attacks
So-
and thrones.
Just to clarify, you're talking. So the Juggernaut comes in, whatever. Everybody is there, right? Everybody's rezzed, whatever.
Yeah.
You're saying once the Juggernaut kills a player,
Anyone,
that that player does not res until the Juggernaut switches.
yeah.
So technically, the Juggernaut at that point could just run the table. They win.
yeah, if they ran the table, yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'm cool with it.
And also, what I was thinking is it keeps people from farming. Like, if you're the Juggernaut and you keep going for the weaker people, it keeps you from doing that. You're only going to get 1 point off that guy, and then he's going to go to the res point.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could.
Although I guess it may make those kinds of people that aren't as strong sit at the res point longer, but
Well, I would
Legally
say
seen
too. Let's say, what about adding a rule where it's like, once there's a new Juggernaut, that all the people that are dead are just gonna res.
instantly?
Yeah, I mean they have to get away from the Juggernaut, but yeah, like the Juggernaut can move wherever they want to move or something like that. But that way that it like refreshes it for the Juggernaut each time.
The only way I'd be, or like not the only way, but my suggestion for something like that would be, I'd be fine with that. Like you mean they just stay on the ground when they die, right? And then when the Juggernaut gets the helmet, he puts it on, he says, I'm the Juggernaut. That means everybody who's dead at that point can stand up.
Right.
I'd be fine with that, but I think when they say, I am the Juggernaut, it should do some kind of like AoE fear. Like if somebody is close enough and they got paused close enough or they rezzed close enough to him, he's going to AoE fear everybody around him.
No, that's fine.
As he when he says, I'm the Juggernaut, like 15 feet away, if anybody's within 15 feet, they're feared. 10 seconds running away. That way, those people aren't particularly going to engage him.
Yeah, no, I'm good with
That
that.
way, if there's like a shitload of people around him.
Well, that's why I said the Juggernaut can move wherever he wanted to start, but that's fine too.
Well, if we did
Fear's
that,
fine.
he wouldn't have to move. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
I think that would improve it a little bit because
Okay.
I think the Juggernaut was dying entirely too fast.
Yeah, it was like immediately.
Yeah.
And then you had, they actually said that you would have gotten the most, Sir Ednick, last time. But what do you think? Because you were in the position where you got the most kills. Do you think that like you were in a position where you it was kind of like a like it would be more balanced if that happened?
Honestly, I didn't think I got more kills. I think me and Rand kind of got tied, if I'm being honest.
He said,
Well, either way.
he messaged and said that you actually got the kills on that or something, but I don't know. I mean, either way, though,
Wow.
you were one of the top people, so
I think it'd definitely be like good to try out because it's definitely like exhausting, especially like mid game. Like the first 5 minutes, it's not too bad, but like anything after that, you definitely get exhausted. So like having all those people come after you, it's like again people that aren't really have a lot of stamina or whatever, they're gonna definitely be winded and definitely get taken out a lot easier.
okay.
So it definitely give them more of a time to get their breath back,
Yeah, it was, like a
kind of like a second
break,
win.
sort of. Yeah, like they can take a little break if they die.
I also think it'll change a little bit at some point because right now there's not a whole lot of abilities in the game, but abilities can be used against the Juggernaut, right?
Yes, they just can't be used by the Juggernaut.
So
can I just real quick
Yeah.
for anybody listening, The Juggernaut is everybody by themselves, and when they get the Juggernaut helmet, they're immune to limb damage, and they have to win that game, you have to be the Juggernaut and get consecutive kills. So if you lose the helmet, it gets reset, but you have to basically get a certain amount of consecutive kills. We hadn't really come up with a number, so we just kind of picked 10 in the beginning, and then also kind of seen how it went, but we only made it up to like 4 or 5 or 6 or something.
5 kills.
So just for the context of what the heck the Juggernaut is, it's a game we play where
Yeah.
the Juggernaut
that's
himself
fair.
is immune to limb damage. So.
He was about to get 6.
And actually, our last podcast, I think, has the video from that game.
It does.
Because
Yeah,
when
it
you
does.
become the Juggernaut, you also wear a helmet, or like a GoPro, not a helmet, a GoPro camera. So
Yeah. I think that really kind of helps everything. Another thing that I would like to do is like trying to get a battle where one person is wearing the GoPro, like on say a team battle or something like that, so that our viewers can see the immersion of having a team battle.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think that would be really good. I mean, granted, the Juggernaut, that's really good, and you're seeing it from one person's perspective. But if you had a team battle and somebody, you could see, the actual fighting going on, I would really, I think some of our viewers might like to see that.
Yeah, I agree. And I also think that you could get it from a couple different perspectives that would be unique to those perspectives. So like, I would like to see it from like somewhere right in the middle, like with a sword and board.
Right.
And I'd also like to see it from like a ranger.
Yeah.
Because I think like seeing it from two
yeah.
different viewpoints would be really cool.
that's true.
Yeah.
Different kind of classes, kind of like see their perspective
Yeah.
of it.
If we kept it going and like, well, not kept it going, but like if we played ditch, that would be something that would be a good way to get a
Yep.
bunch of footage for some team battles, and it would be different kind of perspectives and things. We'd almost have to trade the helmet around.
I think our players would have a good time with that. I recommend we put that on the list for games of this upcoming week, and play around with ditch and just make sure that the GoPro is charged for that, because I think we could come up with some pretty cool footage.
How about we could do 2 things there. One is, was it you that I was talking to about doing random switches? It might have been somebody else. We were talking about basically like when we play ditch, instead of just letting them pick. First I was saying, well, what about picking 2 people? Because I was thinking that would just make it just kind of mix it up a little bit. But then we were talking about how those same 2 people would probably get swapped back and forth. And so, because for a little bit more context, ditch is basically a game where you just, whoever loses picks some players on the winning team, so that it just
it's
balances
usually
back out.
one player. They'll pick one player
Yeah.
from that team. That player comes to their team, and you fight. If you lose again, you would pick another player from the other team. But it's supposed to be somebody going back and forth, usually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it usually ends up being a few key players, which is what Cody, I think it was Sir Heston
Iverson.
Yeah, was
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
And then maybe we could do it randomly, where we just roll a dice and they're in a line. and we
Yeah,
just
that'll definitely kind of like even the odds. Well, I wouldn't say even the odds, but it would definitely like
make
stop the back and forth with just the one person, because it
Right.
kind of like leaves people out. It's like kind of want to be picked,
that
So-
might want to switch teams.
Just
So we could do both those things. Play a game where we do a random switch, and also we're trying to get the camera, and then whoever, just do one maybe, but then whoever goes to the other team, have them wear the camera, so that is totally random all the time on
Yeah.
who has it.
Sounds good to me. And the only thing that I would add to that is that I do think when you're playing ditch that there should be 2 team captains. And I think that you should exclude the team captains from having to switch teams.
Right.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
leave them on their team,
Yeah.
and they can't get. Oh yeah, they can't get picked anyway, but they can't go to the other team. Yeah.
And as far as the captains go, just so like nobody's feelings get hurt, I think for future reference, I'm just going to start choosing random lords, because
I need
I
to
think
be a
that's
lord.
the fairest way to do it. Because that way, like, let's say, Sir Ednick over here gets upset that he's not chosen as captain. I'd be like, well, you're not a lord. Like, you know what I mean? It just like prevents people who aren't lords from getting aggravated. And like right now, there's only like, what is there, 4 lords? Does that sound about
4.
right?
There's
Yeah.
4.
So, I mean, I would just basically flip flop those 4 people over and over and over. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
or whatever lords decide to show up that Sunday.
Or 3. I think there's only 3 that's been sanctified or whatever.
Okay.
Oh, I just
gonna
want to
be
use that
5.
word.
Or
There's
4. But
You wanted
It's
to
gonna be
sound
5
smart on the
tonight.
podcast.
There's 2 lords and 2 ladies, so
Fair, I guess.
So was the Chaos Company,
Yep.
Black Rose,
Right.
and
The
the
Midnight
Watchers. Yeah. Oh, okay. Midnight Watchers.
And then there.
Is there another one? I don't know.
But they have
Hold on. What'd you call the first one? Chaos
The
Company.
Chaos Company.
Okay. And then you have Aridin and Poros technically
But he-
running a clan, right? But he hasn't sworn in yet.
right.
And I don't know the name of his clan, to be fair.
And Argus's clan has not yet. It's kind of crumbling a little bit
I'll
because his
take it.
players aren't real solid. So
I think he'd be a good player to pick up.
Yeah, honestly.
I mean, he's just got to get a couple things together, and he's the highest level player out there. Let's start with that. He's the highest level player out there. I think he's pretty decent in combat, and I think he could be a hell of a lot better given the right training. If I were to start a clan tomorrow, he would be my number one recruit.
oh yeah, absolutely. My
also,
first pick.
I will say I'm really proud of him for paying gold because like he's paid gold membership the whole time and it's been his money. Like he goes and works for it and whatever, like at his mom's, and then pays me money for it. So like he could have easily at any point been like, I'm not doing that no more, basically. So it's cool that he's
But
doing it.
you know what? He also recognized how important gold is out there,
Yeah.
which is something I wish everyone would recognize. Again, it's not even $4 a week.
Right.
$4, not even.
And then on that same note, I will mention this. We are adding an element that if you are in a clan, right, and you all have gold, and you've got the maximum that the maximum is allowed at the time based on the maximum number of people you can have in your clan is equal to the number of clans that have been sanctified. So right now, that's only the 3. Even though some people are kind of having other people in their clan right now because they're trying to form 2 other ones in addition to that. I think 2 other ones are trying to form. But basically, if you have a clan and your clan is full based on whatever the rules are about the max clan at that time, or however many max clans exist, and you all have gold and you all show up, I'm going to give them a bonus game played. Now, that doesn't seem like much, but if, say, you had 6 people in your clan, 6 times 4 is 24 times 6.
It's 480 XP a month. I know that. I
You're
did the math
dumping
earlier. Yeah.
Okay, that you're dumping into your clan every month by doing that. So
Almost
Yeah.
500 XP more a month. That's a lot.
yeah, that's pretty insane.
yeah, it's a good bonus to be able to give people. So just putting it out there, you can get a bonus if you all have gold membership and also all show up. But you always have to actually show up though to get that one. And then I'll go ahead and throw this out there, seeing how Brandon was saying earlier when I do announcements at Phlarp that I need to kind of get them out of the way on the podcast too, so that people that weren't there would know what I was saying. So one of the things I mentioned at the announcements today was request loot. And I don't think you had showed up yet, and I was kind of talking about you because somebody was looting you over and over, Sir Ednick.
Oh my
was
God, yeah.
getting looted over.
I'm probably the most looted person out there, and be honest.
And he was really cool about it. I mean, he was giving up all his stuff. But just so you know, and I guess you might already know this, but
Yeah.
request loot, when you kill somebody, especially in campaign, you can loot them, but you can request, rather, what you loot off them. So you can be like, oh, that's a cool hat. I'm going to loot this guy's hat. But the thing is, if you request to loot something, then you can be infinitely denied. There's no, they do not have to give you that thing, basically, and then you've used your loot to try to request loot something that you didn't get, so you've used your loot to get nothing.
All my
But-
hoodies. all
And
my-
if you
all
didn't
my
do that,
beanies.
and if you didn't do that, they'd have to give you whatever they have on them that was lootable. On that same note, though, if you request loot something off someone and they loot you back, you have to give that thing back. You cannot buffer that thing or be like, nope. So I
Yeah,
didn't
that'd be
think
kind
about
of funny,
that,
but yeah, good point.
I mean,
guess.
okay, hold on. To be fair, if somebody requests loot somebody's hat,
and they give them a coin instead.
and at the end of the day you still have their hat, give them back their hat. Like, we're not keeping people's like clothing.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, that doesn't work the other way around. If you've request looted something, then that person, you don't get to deny.
No, I understand
Yeah.
what your whole point was.
You can go home with their hat.
I'm
Just take it home. It's whatever.
I'm waiting for one
That's
day
the good RP.
when Sir Ednick's like walking home and nothing but his skivvies.
I'm just in my freaking
He's like, my
pants.
car's gone. I'm freezing. Yeah, I'm waiting for that one.
Someone took all my things.
You're like, "Dude, what'd you do? I looted a car over the weekend."
Bro, I just got a car. You need to come out.
So yeah, and then I guess so that was it. Other than what do you want on the website? So if people want to put us in the comments, let us know that what kind of things we should put on the website. We'll do that.
Some of that may be in the suggestion box. But,
Oh yeah, that's true.
I do obviously. I think XP rankings need to be up there, and I do also think
on
that
the
we
website.
we should highlight the players like in like the top 3, 5, whatever you want to do. It says, hey, these are the players that are at the top
Gold,
of the
silver, bronze.
yeah, whatever. You could even highlight all the players that are currently playing gold or paying gold. You could do that.
Well, there's like a
you
page where
got
it's
a lot of options there.
golden members or whatever. And
Yep.
it has a.
And the reason I
picture of
say
them or
that is
whatever.
because I think that those players, the players that are paying for gold and putting money into Phlarp, need to be highlighted because that's how Phlarp's going to grow. That's how we're going to get money for all of the things that we continue to do. So Phlarp has money to, purchase whatever they need, whether it be a heater or materials to make weapons or whatever it is, And also, again, I say this a lot, but also eventually I hope that Phlarp has enough money to get their own property, and that's going towards that as well. So
That's the plan.
I
And
agree.
yeah, I mean, any support helps, but definitely for the people who are financially supporting Phlarp in any way, we definitely want to make sure those people are getting what they want out of Phlarp. So
yeah, I'd like, if she continues to do it, obviously, but Jessica or Taylor, I'd like her to have her own section on there. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be really helpful.
I'd like a lore section, where I can just go in and read about previous kings or queens or about the
Oh yeah.
the founding heroes or whatever I want to read about should be on there as far as lore. If we
Yeah.
have it, it should be on the site.
I think character backstories would be a really good thing.
I agree with that as well.
that's one I didn't think of, I guess.
And
It's something we could offer gold members too, to be
Oh,
like
yeah.
you said, basically. So like if you get gold, you also get a character, highlight.
Yeah. So when you write up your character story, understand that it's going to be where everybody can see it. And if you want to make some goofy stuff, make some goofy stuff. But at the same time, if you want to take your time and make a cool story, people are going to be able to read that.
What about since our gold members have the QR reader thingy, having a picture of them with
Oh, that QR?
put an actual picture of them if they would like, and their character name, things like that. That way, you can go into each character backstory and then be like, oh, this is this one.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure North has said at some point, if you want a picture of your character and you
Yeah.
show up in costume armor, we'll take a photo of you and put it.
You can actually, I'll go one step further. If I take a picture of somebody not in a costume, I have an AI art generating app that I paid for that I have forever, that I just paid a one-time fee for. So I can take a completely uncostumed person and generate art until I get one they like, basically. So
Cool.
especially gold members.
I did have a
Mainly
question.
gold members.
Last week, the question for our suggestions or comments on our podcast were, how long would somebody, want to hear us? Did we get any feedback on that?
I guess
I
not.
haven't been able to check the comments.
I haven't looked, but I can look right now. But as far as I know, not. Maybe we can keep talking and I'll look while I'm.
I was
Don't
gonna say,
wait for
'cause
me.
Personally, I don't mind if it's 3 hours, 4 hours, because I can always pause it, come back to it later, and then go on, keep taking pauses if I need to. So as long as there's something to talk about, I'll be fine to listen to.
So my thing is I'm pretty comfortable with the hour-long sessions. However, I also think that at some point, and we've talked about this, doing more than one session. And so if we do, let's say we do a 3-hour podcast and we split it up in hour-long sections, then I as a viewer or whatever, I can just watch 3 different episodes.
Oh, yeah.
As opposed to one 3-hour-long episode.
That
I like it broke up a little bit, personally.
Yeah, it's all about preference, I guess.
And I do know that I talked about it while we were out at game day. Last week we had 100 101 views, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
The week before, we had 117, and the week before that, 210 views.
Yeah, I've been paying attention to
216 it says here.
Sorry, 216. So we're putting the content out there, and we feel everybody giving us love for watching us, and we appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you. It seems like it's been getting a little bit more traction than I really even thought it would. So
Yeah, it's been great.
cool. And it says on the, what were you saying, comments?
Yeah.
In fact, this is something that I wanted to do until we start getting so many comments we can't. Can I just like read some of these?
Sure.
Yeah, do it.
I
I've
have
commented
8
on
here.
them.
It says, my friend Kira showed me this video, and his mom sent the link to the video. Keep up the great work. So thanks. Awesome. Great video, everyone. I'm glad I got to see more combat. One thing I would enjoy would be commentary over some of the battles. Having opinions and highlights of cool things done would be nice to see. Oh, that's kind of a cool idea, where we actually... Did you just break my suggestion box?
1,000%.
He broke the box, bro.
Dude, I'm sitting here trying to get it open. It's not working.
He just
okay.
ripped it.
The suggestion pile of cardboard.
I think I actually put that comment.
Oh, yeah, you did. Having opinions and highlights of cool things. Yeah, that's a good idea. What they're actually seeing at the time, comment on that. And then this is Alvin trying to clarify what he was saying. He says, what I was trying to get at with Rand, he was trying to get at with the question was to make it easier on the marshals so they know whether or not somebody is not supposed to be using abilities because they have not been given their backstory yet. So you wouldn't have to worry. I guess I would say you wouldn't have to worry about that unless they were using second level abilities, because people who are first level might get their abilities and might start using them and still not have all their stuff done. Like the Squire test doesn't necessarily require you to. Basically, if you don't complete the Squire quest, you can still get XP, but you have to adhere to your weapon restrictions, and you can't pick anything that is second level. So if you're fighting somebody that's second level and you're using abilities rather that are higher than I'm sorry. If you're using abilities, if you're fighting somebody and they're using abilities that are over first level, then yeah, you might need to know that. But by then they shouldn't have a crown on, so I don't know. It seems like a very small... Is anybody listening to me? You guys are...
Yes.
Of course we're
I'm listening to you.
What do you think is... How do you interpret that? Am I interpreting that correctly?
Yeah, it's like easier. I mean, it's easier said than done.
Ooh.
1, 2, I don't know that it's necessary right now at this time. I mean, we're talking about level 1 abilities. I do think, like, as the game progresses, maybe. I don't know that we should be worried about level 1 and level 2 abilities as much as we are.
Because they're worried about whether somebody is using an ability that they're really supposed to use.
Yeah, I mean, what are you worried about at level 1 that somebody's using that? And I haven't noticed anything. I'm out there watching every single event. I haven't noticed anyone using anything that they're not supposed to be using. If anything, I could probably hack on some, like, people are using, like, combinations of weapons and stuff maybe they shouldn't be using, but I also...
Yeah.
Do we want to crack down on that? That's up to you.
I'm really okay with it until they start hitting second level or whatever, and then after that, yeah, they absolutely do not need to be using weapon combinations that they're not okay with or that they can't use. And another thing, too, is maybe we need to label some of those swords, because if you're talking about the combinations of the swords, some of them are two-handed that are Phlarp
one of them
swords.
was an issue today. I'm not going to mention any names or anything, but somebody was probably using too long of a weapon today that they shouldn't have been using.
Should be dual-wielding or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, I did see that, too. So maybe I could do something in that regard into marking those weapons. But no, not really, not yet. I wouldn't crack down on it too much until we start seeing higher level people trying to do that. As soon as they get past second level, if they're still trying to do it, then yeah, I think we need to say something to them, because it's really important that if you're going to start getting the advantages of being higher level, that you need to you need to make sure that you're adhering to the rules, because those rules are specifically to make sure that you don't get too much of an advantage. Because in combination with your second, third, fourth level abilities, you can start becoming a total savage at that point. So. And this is actually a question. It says, here's an interesting take that I would like to hear. Chris, Brandon, and North, when did you get started in LARP? What made you stay? And what was one of your fondest memories? And how long have you all been doing LARP? This would be a good concept for when you guys don't have a co-host. Oh, never mind. No, I'm just joking. When you don't have a co-host, since you all asked us, would be nice to hear the same from you. Oh, okay.
Okay, now we can kick Sir Ednick out. And then we'll answer the question.
Okay.
Bye, Felicia.
You got an answer? You want to start us out?
Yeah, I started Phlarp because my friend at the time, Aaron, he was talking about there was a group of kids, which was his son and some other kids. Some of them are still there now. Like I think Heston was one of them. I think it might have been one of the original ones. But there was like 6 or 7 kids that was meeting in the park, and they were fighting with foam swords or whatever. And I was like, well, I'll do this, but like I'm like an adult, and these people are like, some of these are kids, so we need to go to their parents and make sure that there's like a waiver or something to make sure. And that kind of put me in the position where I was sort of leading it, or kind of. But that really wasn't. I used to play too, and so I mean that wasn't really initially my intention. It was just to make sure that I would be safe to be able to like be hitting on kids with swords or whatever.
I mean, that's fair.
And so, and then I don't know. After I got started in it, it's the greatest community I've ever been a part of, and I don't have any really any friends outside of LARP. Like when I quit doing this for a little while, it was kind of driving me crazy not having people to talk to, and it's kind of like I don't know, like arrogant or something, but I kind of liked people caring about what I thought. Like I feel like a lot of people in my personal life, it's just kind of like interactions or whatever, but they're not really trying to figure out what I think about some things. And at Phlarp, there's always people coming up to me and asking me questions. There was a time where I felt that was kind of overwhelming, but when I wasn't there, I missed it. Like I really did. I like getting people together and meeting people that I would never otherwise meet if I didn't Phlarp. Like there are some people that I've met and become friends with that I would never ever probably even talk to, not because I'm mean or anything, but there's just no connecting layer or whatever. And for Phlarp, that's what that is for me. So
I feel you. I mean, but I disagree. You are mean. 100%
according to
mean,
some
I mean.
people, I'll take that.
I don't think mean's the word, because I've hung around you a long time, and I don't think you're mean. I just think you're blunt, which is something that I understand.
Yeah, it's like sometimes
like you may think I'm mean, but it's really I just didn't sugarcoat whatever it is you asked me to.
Yeah.
I'm telling you exactly what it is.
And I agree with
If
that.
you don't like the way I said it, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I agree with that. There's like a point where if I'm pushed really far about something, I will be
you'll get frustrated.
completely blunt with them about it.
Yeah.
I mean, what do the rules say?
What do the rules say? It's a good question. Well, I can tell you for me, similar situation. I had never LARPed before. We've kind of talked about this before. I grew up playing sports and didn't do much else. I moved about an hour south. I moved here from like the St. Louis area. And I had a couple friends from the college, basically that I had like newly become friends with. And they were telling me about this LARP thing that I had basically never heard of ever. And they were like, there's these guys out there, man, they're kicking the crap out of us. There's nothing we can do about it. Like, we need more people out there. And Brandon, like, it would be really cool if you came out there. And I was like, well, I'll tell you what, I'll go out there one time. I'll give it a try. We'll see like what's going on. And I got out there and I knew immediately who they were talking about, like what they were talking about. And because I'm like just competitive in nature, I made it a goal to be able to defeat those people. And it took me some time, but eventually I was able to do it. It just took a lot of time. And so for me, that's what it was. It was friends basically saying, hey, we're overwhelmed out here. There's players that are a lot better than us. Can you please come help us? And I came out there with no experience at all and got my butt kicked for a while too, until I didn't. And that's pretty much what happened with me. So
I actually joined, I want to say, almost 4 years ago. And it's crazy because my ex, her daughter, actually started in a different group. And I was just like, okay, that sounds kind of corny, whatever. And then I came out, and the first day I came out, Alvin was like, you're in my clan. I don't care what happens. And I was like, okay.
you're talking about Lord Rand Rain Walker, by the way.
Oh, sorry. People from Wisconsin. Yes. But yes, Lord Rand, it was like that day we just saw eye to eye and started, steamrolling everybody. And,
Awesome.
And I just nonstop ever since. I've stopped battling because of injuries, but other than that, I mean, it's still part of life.
And that's when you started. Why do you?
Why do I?
What do you get out of it?
So, a couple of things. One, I have PTSD, and I had talked to my therapist about it, and he was like, "That's really cool. It's like an immersion therapy," and I was all like, "Okay, yeah, I can see that." And like you said, it's being able to meet new people and create new friendship. Apparently, I finally have met my twin brother that we look and sound alike. I don't know. I still think that I sound better than Brandon. I know I look better than him, that's for sure. But I mean, it's just being able to come out and have fun and make new friends and just doing what we can.
Cool. And I didn't say before, but I started in 2012, so I've been doing this for like 10 years.
I'm pretty sure I did too. I think it was a couple months after you, but I also started in 2012. It's a long, long time ago. That's all I know.
Mm-hmm.
And we're much younger.
We're getting close to time. We don't have to cut off at time. I think I want to finish everything that we got here.
Well, let's at least finish the suggestion box.
So
try to get through it kind of quickly. We'll kind of
because we didn't get to the movie either. So bungus.
Oh man,
I did do my homework.
I did
watch the movie.
I did, and I did not fall asleep either.
Okay, yeah, okay. I own the movie, so I have seen it quite a few times, but I did fall asleep in like halfway through or something because I was laying on the couch and.
May the Schwartz be with you.
But we'll do the suggestion box, and then we'll hurry up and do a review of the movie as best as we can.
Okay.
I think that's everything else I had.
I'll just fly through some of these.
Okay.
Bring some tavern talk. I mean, I agree. That's we talk about this every week with the RP stuff. Bring role play.
Yeah, and I need to do more. What do they call that? Rumors.
Yeah,
we didn't do any rumors.
Where I'm role playing.
It's been a while.
Stuff. Yeah. This one says Big Chungus on website. I'm pretty sure I know who that was.
Nope, that's a joke. Just ignore that.
My thanks to the chefs. That's a good one. Thank you for this. Want to hear more the lore. I agree with that. We're probably going to be releasing a book of lore that will be in text form, and me reading it, maybe in character voice, would be on our Patreon.
And also my thanks to the chefs thing, that's all Jessica. Just to be clear on that, she's the one making the food every week. So.
Oh yeah, so shout out because she
chef,
watches.
The chef.
So.
The chef.
Someone can help with.
Maybe read it and then read it into the mic just in case.
I mean, can he read though? That's the question.
That's an interesting one. Here, I'll let somebody else read that. More games like today. More games like today, I think. This one actually has to do with the podcast. It says, music too long on podcast intro. Also would prefer more actual fighting and video, no footage before game starts. So I guess that one's to our editor. Oh, this is another one for the podcast. It says, Eric the Red's pumping up. Needs to be on podcast, maybe after the intro, but before the actual podcast audio.
Like, I'm down, but I just don't want to be in the room while he's doing it. It's very loud.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I got to make sure I get everybody's attention, bro.
I don't disagree. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
So how I would address this specific one, it's basically saying that someone like needs to exist to help, like with makeup and some other things.
Like help people getting costume kind of?
Yeah, no, I think if you need or want that kind of help, like maybe you should join a clan, have like your lord deal with that situation. That's not really something that we can deal with as moderators. Like we don't have time to deal with that. And that's not me trying to be rude. It's just like we have a game to run. We have to sign people in. We have to set up games. We have to do all this other stuff. I don't have time to put your makeup on your face.
I will say that I would give somebody a helper discount, which is only $5 off per month on membership if they offered face painting for us as a service, but they need to do that too. They need to help people with their costume and stuff, whatever.
Cool. I'm down with that.
I don't know if
anybody's as long as you're not talking about like
that,
making somebody's costume, because that's going to cost money. But like if it's just like putting on their costume and makeup, okay.
I mean, making somebody's costume, that's when you get with the merchant.
Because you see like face painters places, and is it a specific?
You can read it.
Oh, okay.
No, it's just
Players don't bleed out properly, so it makes RP hard.
Cool.
All right, take your bleed out times. We'll can we put that down in the notes or whatever for this upcoming week? Like
okay,
when you make
yeah.
your announcements.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that all we got for that?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, so we need two things.
Was there
right?
something about music in one of those? I thought I read something.
Well, we had a bunch of music things from before, but there was none in this that I
I
read.
thought it said something. I don't know what it is. Anyway,
Okay, so two things. We need to recap on
I
our
was thinking.
homework.
Movie? Yeah.
Oh, so I mean, I think Spaceballs is a hilarious movie. I mean,
Oh, it was funny.
I looked up some trivia afterward. I could probably try to hit you with some of that.
Oh, hit me with some trivia, man.
I know George Lucas didn't want. He said no merchandising. They couldn't make any merchandising because customers wouldn't be able to tell the difference between Spaceballs merchandise and real merchandise. So that's the whole gag about him having
The
Spaceballs
advertisement
merchandise.
thing, yeah.
Yeah.
It was hilarious. And that they even have like Spaceballs toilet paper at one of the scenes.
The sheet. I saw the sheet.
Yeah.
Spaceballs the sheet.
There's some funny stuff in there.
And then the flamethrower, apparently, Elon Musk's idea about selling flamethrowers came from the flamethrower scene.
Goodness gracious.
Because he's got like a flamethrower at one point and it says, for kids on the side.
Yeah, it literally says for kids. And he even like mentions in the thing when he's showing them that this would be great for children.
Yeah. He's got like a flamethrower.
Oh, I do have a question. So, you remember the scene where like the guy who does like the nose jobs or whatever, he's like leaving and he's like talking about the golf guy in the back and he calls him Arnold. Is that supposed to be Arnold Palmer?
Oh, I didn't catch that part. When
You know what I'm talking about? He's literally
mentioned
carrying a
something.
golf bag
Yeah.
and they called him Arnold.
Oh, okay, maybe.
And I couldn't quite figure out if that was meant to be Arnold Palmer or not.
I'm going to have to double check.
Yeah.
That I didn't even. What is your
That
favorite
was like
scene?
the scene that I was falling asleep in too, so I'm not really
jeez.
sure.
This guy. What's your favorite scene?
Don't say you have
Did you-
not
have
seen
you
Space.
watched
If you
that?
have
No,
not
I've
seen
watched Spaceballs a couple times, but it's been a long time.
I know what my favorite
it,
scene
you didn't even
is.
do
What
homework,
is it?
bro.
It's the fact that they recorded like the whole bunch of the movie, scene for scene, and knew that it was going to play out like that because they get the Spaceball DVD, they get the VHS, to figure out where the people have
And they're
went.
like breaking the fourth wall while they're
and
doing it too.
He's
It's
like, what am I
hilarious.
looking? He's like, what is this? He's like, this is now, and
This
there's no
is
camera, you know, because they're like in
Yeah.
the movie. So he's like looking back, and he's like, what the hell am I looking at? Because there's like nothing there. I love that part. And then they're watching the part where they're going ludicrous speed. They're like watching it on fast forward so you can see what's happening. And he's like, and then he goes, and he like flies and smashes into the front of the ship.
what
And they're
is
like,
it? Black
he's like,
Helmet? Is that his name?
Yeah, Dark Helmet.
Dark Helmet.
He goes, just fast forward past this. He goes, in fact, never watch this again. He goes, never play this again. He's like looking all embarrassed. Rick Moranis' acting in that is great. Like he
He's
has some
fantastic, yeah.
great acting.
His movie on Little House of Horrors is actually really good too.
Oh yeah, that's,
just watched
that's
that
like
the
one of
other
my
day, too.
favorite Rick Moranis movies. It might be my favorite Rick Moranis movie, Little House of Horrors. It's hilarious. Little Shop of Horrors, I think it's called, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
Little
so.
Shop
I
of
messed up
Horrors.
the.
Jeez.
And you know,
are not coming
They
back.
were talking
on.
about a second one. They've did it a couple times. And basically the people that are in it have all said if Mel Brooks wants to make another one, they'll do it. Basically, that
Mel
it's up
Brooks
to
is
Mel
awesome.
Brooks. But also Mel Brooks is like 1,000 years old, so he's probably not really into making movies.
Probably not.
You can tell he doesn't listen to this podcast.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, I think that just
But as
really
a-
leaves one
I-
important thing here.
I'll say as a LARP movie, it was a 0.
I mean, that's fair.
Yes.
But as a movie and a comedy, I would say that's like an 8 out of 10.
Yeah,
Pretty
I agree.
hilarious.
Like an 8.2 out of 10.
Yeah, even maybe a little bit more than an 8. Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I agree.
On the 8.2?
Actually, I would give it an 8.25.
Wow. Just had to one up me, huh?
Yeah.
above and beyond.
Yeah, you know.
I tried to do it to him, and then you did it to me. I see what you did.
What about you? Perfect 10?
Probably like a 7.9.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man.
Wow, he
I
really
mean-
went down.
Wow.
It's funny, but like, there's a lot more.
But like what?
There's some funnier movies.
Well, of course, there's funnier movies, but that's nonetheless.
We're talking
It's
Mel
like
Brooks
literally
funny.
0.1 away from 8, so it's not like
What's the funniest movie you've ever seen? If you had to pick. I know which one.
I want to answer this
I
question.
asked this because I knew what my answer
There's a
would be.
lot of movies.
Name
I,
one.
I instantly know.
Funniest. So
Funniest.
comedy.
I know
What's
comedy.
the funniest?
Funniest.
The funniest
I got
comedy
a
of all
funny
the
story.
I don't want to be like some generic. It's probably like a Will Ferrell movie, but it's not going to be Step Brothers because that's.
Is it Stranger Than Fiction?
Oh yeah, that's his funniest movie for sure.
Nah.
I mean, to
I
be
do
fair,
like that movie,
to be
though.
fair, my favorite movie, or what I think is the funniest movie, has Will Ferrell in it.
I bet you I could guess what it is.
What is it?
Is it Anchorman?
Nope.
Get Hard.
No, it doesn't feature him.
Oh, it just has him in it?
Yeah.
Is it Zoolander?
Nope. It's the Wedding Crashers. I love that.
I
Oh,
should have guessed
yeah.
that. I should have known that. Shame on me. I'm a terrible friend.
I also really think Vince Vaughn is like really funny.
Like, you really like his delivery. and
Oh
stuff.
yeah, he's great.
Anyway, did you answer?
I'm gonna be honest. I can't think of anything right now. But I don't know.
But you're
I'm
gonna get
sorry.
Spaceballs a 7. There are funny movies
Yeah,
out there.
7-9.
I just can't
So
think of
funny.
it.
7-9,
but I
but I
just-
can't think of anything funnier.
Right now, I'm just.
Also, just so you guys
I
know,
wasn't
you
thinking
get a
about
heal when you
movies.
pick it up. So you
At
did
least
get it.
comedies.
Come on, you gotta.
Where's your arm damage?
Snipping
This is
snap.
like RP. We ad
what do you got,
so you
North?
gotta be on it.
Oh, I think Monty Python and the Holy Grail
That's
is
pretty funny.
one of the funniest movies I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. And it's held. I will say it's held up well over time.
It has.
It's kind of a timeless
Mm-hmm.
parody.
It has.
So whose turn is it?
It's your turn, sir.
I didn't come up with the last one.
I came up with the code word.
We kind of collaborated because of his wonderful, funny story.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, I got
I got a
a.
hilarious
You can't
story,
use
but
an
I'm going to
ability
save
while
it
you're
for the
holding.
next podcast.
Okay,
Oh,
sounds
jeez.
good to me. All right, so here's what I think. I think I'm going to use a line
only
from
to get it.
Spaceballs.
But
Okay.
I mean,
Or
you couldn't
a
get it
word.
with hide, I
This
guess.
is the
I-
code? Okay.
Yeah, this is the code
use
word
abilities on the person
for
with it,
this
but
upcoming
once you
week,
get it, you can't
and
use
we're
it
going to go with Bartholomew.
Bartholomew?
Barf.
It's
Bartholomew. I can't even say the word.
It's like
Bartholomew.
Bartholomew, right?
Yeah.
So it's Bartholomew.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, I
But barf
realized
is at the
that I
beginning of the
wasn't
word.
getting the video, so
Yeah,
I-
you know how
If
many
you say
people are going to
barf
try and say this next
Without
week?
saying barf, you don't get it.
Yeah, no, you got to say barf, like I'm barfing, I'm puking. Barf, mal. I can't even say it, but you have to.
Was that his full name? Was
Yeah.
there a
Yeah.
part where they said that?
Yeah, they asked like what his full name was, and he's like, "Oh, it's Bartholomew."
I love the fact
He's
that
like-
the pizza guy got locked in his
Oh
limo
my
and had
God.
to
He
eat
literally-
himself to death.
Oh, I thought you
Like
were talking about
whoever
at the
said
end of
that,
the movie
whoever
when they're all
said
getting
the
into
time was
pods to escape, and the pizza guy jumps in the one, and he's like, "Pizza to go!"
No, but that's pretty funny too.
Ah.
I was talking about the Jabba the Hutt parody guy.
Yeah, no,
He gets-
I know what you're talking about.
Oh,
He
yeah.
ate himself
He ate
because he was
himself to
stuck
death.
in
That's
the
great.
what was it? Stuck in a limousine, right?
Yeah, he
That's
locked
actual
himself in
food
his
they
car.
had on there too. He looks like he might be like
Yeah, it's
costume, but
pretty
it's
gross
actual
looking.
cheese and pepperoni and stuff. They're just melting on set. I read that too.
All right. Well, is there anything else you want to fit in this one?
No,
That's it. Anybody else?
I'm
Oh,
good.
we need to pick the next movie, and then that's it. Did we already ask the question? We did. It was something.
Yeah, it was
skins or
skins
no
or no skins. It was a very important question to me.
Wow,
So we'll
like-
see what happens here.
I'm old and he's forgetting everything.
Yeah, it happens.
I have other reasons why I forget everything.
Okay, so it's your week to pick the movie.
The movie?
Yes.
Oh, goodness. All right, well, let's go with Unicorn City because I've been
All
wanting to
right.
watch that for a few weeks now.
Okay.
All right. I watched a trailer for it the other day because I was trying. One of my, you know how you asked that one time, what can we use out of it?
Yeah.
Can I spoil a particular thing? It's not an event. It's a costume somebody has.
Yeah, that's fine. I
Okay.
mean, we should talk about it next week.
And
but
I
it's fine.
said, okay, yeah, well, we will twice. I was telling Isaac, I was like, dude, this guy in this movie's got a costume that is sick, dude. And I was like, so we watched the trailer for it, and at the very end of the trailer, it shows it. There's a guy who's a centaur, right? And he's got like, he's waist up, he's shirtless, I think. But then waist down, he's got like, furry legs where it looks
Right.
like he's got horse legs. And he's pulling a cooler behind him. And on the back wheels of the cooler are two other legs, like horse-looking legs. So when he goes like this, the wheels turn, and it makes the legs look like they're moving. And that's his back, like butt of the centaur. It's
That's
great.
Cool. That's great. Sounds,
Nice.
sounds very
It's an
unique.
awesome costume. I mean, he couldn't fight in it, I guess, at all, but It's awesome. He was like a centaur, and his horse body was a big cooler. And then at
pretty
one point he's like, "You want a beer?" And he just like gets a beer out of the cooler.
Genius.
Pretty
I
sweet.
love it.
Anyway, Unicorn City.
Unicorn City.
All right, that's we're an hour and 8, so I guess we need to get out of here. So
All right, guys. Well, we hope you keep listening.
And we hope you keep battling in the name of our capital, Darvishad.
and we hope to see you all soon. Bye.